Hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
So we, so this is the third of these little interviews that we're doing with the players to introduce the characters, because while we had the opportunity to discover them and explore them a bit in the Water Deep Dragon Heist campaign, the folks at home have no idea who these people are or what their the specific backgrounds. So this little series is to sort of help that and discuss with you, the player, about Vroondomon today, and that under let's try and keep it around 30 minutes, so that it's digestible, right? But because we all know that one thing that you never ask a role player is tell me about your character and expect to get and expect anything out from the evening. So, I am going to ask you that very question, which is who is Vroondomon?
Tell me about your character. Vroondomon is a Loxodon paladin. um, he came he originally came to Waterdeep as uh, a courtier, a representative of a delegation coming from Chult. And yes, of course, Loxodon are normally not in Chult, but we we
Yes,
we winged it.
we decided that there was an island just off the coast of Chult that happened to that that yeah, well, I mean, this was something that we had discussed. We had not discussed really early. We just knew that you were coming from somewhere,
Chult,
right?
yeah, like it was. I looked through a bunch of countries and I was like, yeah, no, Chult still fits the best.
Yeah.
And
But this
then later on, we were like, we're going to play in Chult. Well, then maybe we need to
yeah.
have a bit of a look at what that means.
So yeah, this was of course about a year before we actually decided to
Hmm.
go start playing. So it was interesting. I think you were one of the reasons why I kind of said, I want to play Tomb of Annihilation just so that we can explore this.
Well,
So, or at least Runderman was a big part of the reason why I didn't want to change characters for a new campaign.
I see.
So, yeah, because I mean, I get attached to these characters. So, um, but so yes, we sort of shoehorned in the Loxodon into Faerun as a fairly secretive people, uh, off an island near somewhere near Chult. Um,
What was it called again?
well, I don't think the other players know about that yet. Have they? Has
No,
that been revealed?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
At some point, I pointed it out on a map.
okay.
The
Um,
Mother of Mists.
yeah, the Mother of Myths. I believe it's just northwest of the Chultan Peninsula.
Yep. I looked it up. There's no information about that island whatsoever. So,
Yeah, so might as well. Yeah, let's go for it. So how did so Cordier sent to Waterdeep in order to negotiate, basically to ask help from the bigger cities in order to get rid of the flaming fist
mhm,
from Portney and Zaru.
yes.
And you succeeded.
Yes, eventually.
You succeeded. Um
I
it
guess it helps if you uh, do a favor for the city of Waterdeep.
Yeah, if you bring 5 million
Uh,
gold back to the city coffers, yes, it'll kind of do something
yeah,
like that. So no, 500,000.
yeah.
Um yeah, it helps. Mhm. No, I think and now, so how did you come about creating Vroondomon? Why the Loxodon? Why the Paladin? Because
I
you're an experienced D&D player. You've played
oh
many
yes.
characters before, so why this one?
I think I think I was mostly just but for the class I think I mostly adjusted to like well what would fit well in the group like with consideration to what is everyone else playing. So I think the paladin was basically just like Yeah, probably it would be good to have a bit of a tanky character in the party, and eventually just going like, okay, well, fighter, barbarian, paladin. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've played a paladin. Let's go for it.
Yeah, but not any paladin. You chose the paladin of glory. So
Yes, but that was
why that
also
one?
eventually because originally it was going to be a paladin of the crown because I was like, oh,
Oh,
that works well with like that. That's a good representative of
oh
uh, of. Uh,
right.
but then of course there was the you're gonna probably have to do a bunch of let's say unlawful stuff,
Yeah, I kind
and
of
that
remember
might
that.
be
Yeah,
difficult for Paladin of the Crown to still work out with them.
yeah. I
With
remember
the
you.
oath.
I remember you playing around with the because in Dragon Heist they give you a copy of the law basically.
Yes.
And I remember you were very, very adamant. You're going, no, 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 we need to follow this. We need to follow this. And then that kind of shifted towards the later end. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's now you make me think about it. Yeah, oh, because that would have been fun to do the crown.
Yeah.
Citizen's arrest.
But considering that you were like, might be problematic. I was like, okay, what else fits? And then I was like, actually, I guess yeah. For someone from Childs, like, and especially someone who's because I think by then we sort of talked a bit about how the Loxodon stood in the Childian society, and I was like, you know what? I think he does want to like really show off what Loxodon can do and what he can do, and just be sort of a like a shining example for his people,
Mhm.
and that was like, yeah, okay, no, then it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean the idea that I'm trying to define. Oh, oh. Um, but yeah, yeah. The idea that I mean, you could have gone for the ancients. You could have gone
Oh yeah,
for
but I don't
conquest. That would have been fun.
know. Yeah,
Um,
no, Conquest was like, nah, that definitely doesn't make sense.
mm,
And like eventually I was like, okay, well this is like this is something I can build on. This is and then like definitely that changed the character a little bit, became a bit more arrogant and
hmm
uh but yeah, that was a like I thought it was a cool also just a cool subclass. Like
Yeah,
it's an interesting one.
it's an interesting one because it's something that is not necessarily about. Um, there's a lot. I guess there's a lot of the paladins when you're protecting. It's the most I believe, in my opinion, it's the most selfish of the
Oh
paladin
yes, I
oaths.
think so.
It's very much about no, no. I'm going to show you my glory. It's so definitely yes, a bit more arrogant, a bit more self-centered. Who knows? Maybe that might be Vroondomon being a bit perverted by um, the Northerners, who's going. All
Yeah.
these people think only about themselves. Well, maybe I should as well. You
I
know,
think so. Like, I mean, I think definitely having visited Waterdeep and that definitely changed him. Like, he's definitely
mm,
more forward thinking and is probably going to be taking more initiative.
mm. Well, actually, good segue to the next question, which is, um, what were notable events in the Waterdeep campaign that sort of helped you shape around Vroondomon or explore him?
um, I think like the sh- sh- what do you call them again? Like the robot people, the little
Oh,
uh,
the automatons,
yeah,
the nimble rights.
Nimble, right? That was it. Like the Nimble Red was also being very much treated as a second rank citizen, pretty much. Like they didn't have any. rights of his own, didn't have. I was like, oh, you're making friends now, bad boy. And like, hold on.
Yeah, he was yeah. Now that I think of it, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean,
And
we
then
came
like
up.
Rune,
It's interesting because I believe we had the conversation about about Loxodon's place in Chult after
yeah, I think so.
that event. So, did that inspire you to sort of, or did you just?
Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, there was already a bit of an idea of like that the Loxodon would be not like that they'd be more like guides and stuff like that. But I think uh like I was immediately very determined to um to make sure like I was very determined to get the nimble rights back in one piece, but it
Mm.
didn't work out.
Oh yeah, yeah, the second one. Yeah, not Nim, but
Yes.
the rogue nimble right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was like,
Unfortunately,
I was.
that was a bit of a how should I put it? That was it's part of the scenario that you don't
Mhm,
necessarily get him in one piece
yeah,
because he would be either he gives you too much information or it's just frustrating because he doesn't have any information, so there's no real payoff to that. But
yeah,
so it was a
yeah,
bit
but
of
it
a
was still
scripted
one of
event.
those. Yeah, it was one of those things. Was like, let's see, because I'm really, I should, if I'm really good with athletics if I use my channel divinity, so maybe I can just try to just wrangle it and like, yeah, no, actually wrestling in D&D is still a like bad idea.
Yeah. Um,
I've seen that they're working on adding some new stuff that makes it better, but
okay, spoilers. But yeah, but we might see that in 2024. So
yeah, exactly.
now, unfortunately, I know that there are grappler builds,
Hmm.
um, and I've seen. I think but I think that the best grapple build is actually a bard
Okay,
because
interesting.
you get because it's a skill challenge, right? And
Yeah,
so because you if you get you know high
expertise and
strength, you get expertise, which means you're a better wrestler than the barbarian there,
yep.
who's got more strength than you. It's nuts. Um, but I mean, let's face it, all wrestlers are bards, and somehow, right?
That's true.
Scripted athletes.
But
Um,
yeah, like that was definitely in one of the events that's, and of course, just like seeing the the commander of the flaming fists, and that was really like, mm. No, 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 no. Wait, hold on. That's not okay.
wait, what
Why
do you
is
mean?
he?
Oh, you mean at the end at the
Yes.
yeah. Well,
So that was really for Brune. Like, I wanna, no, no, I'm gonna rub this, and we're gonna milk this for all it's worth.
yeah. So to give the context, so that event was at the end when you're basically invited and you're being recognized by the entire city of the services that you've done during the Day of Wonder. There's the you had just I think there was the Day of Wonder where you basically paraded the bronze dragon from that you had adopted in a sense the group of you in the and then there's the side of the gold dragon which you befriended as well and at that point I think at that point I had started in my mind um, sort of working out the politics
Mhm.
of we're going nobody likes the flaming fist, nobody wants to deal with them, um and so it's yeah having an opportunity to rub that you were very yes look at me what I've done, look at me, I'm a second class citizen where you hold sway and now I'm better, and every single politician was going yes yes, it's basically look at this savage that we have elevated while you have not recognized his worth.
Yes.
Kinda. So yeah, the way I played it, I hope it wasn't too harsh, but I definitely played the Water Davian nobility going. Yes, he's a savage, but he's our savage.
Yes. No, no, that was clear.
uh, Anything? So yeah, so those two events, which
Those were
basically,
the big ones
yeah.
for Vroon,
How about his relationship with the rest of the group? How
I think Vroon and Heinrich got pretty close pretty fast.
mm.
Um, Bit of the opposite, of course, with Sorsha.
Well,
Conflict with, you know, murdering without any way of defending himself. That Drow is like, no, 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 that doesn't sit well with me. Come on, you have to give them a fair fight. Like, give the man a dagger, and let him at least, get up and.
yeah. Um, it's funny that that kind of conflict with between Vroon and Sorsha that sort of started with that execution of the Drow is now sort of moved on. Those are okay. There's a respect. We're going to keep that. We're going to put that to
Yeah.
the side, and it's come up in again with the Flaming Fist episode in Tomb of Annihilation, where now you're back to wait. We really need to have a conversation about this, and so there's drama again between you two.
Yes.
So, it's funny because it seems that that's the big. I'm kind of dreading when I need to interview for Gail because she's gonna say I get along with everybody. Heinrich is a bit going, yeah, I like Vroon, I like Gale. Sorsha, eh. Sorsha's saying, I like Gale, but the other two, meh. And, and you're saying,
Mhm.
no, everybody's fine except Sorsha. I really need to talk to her. I like this
Yeah,
dynamic.
I mean, I'm and uh, that's I guess also leads a bit into to like what's still to be explored.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. So,
um, the like I already said this at the start of the last session as well. Like, I still really want to have a conversation with Gail about like why do you hate the Flaying Fist so much?
yeah.
Like my reasons. These fuckers are not supposed to be here, and look, here they are thinking they own the place.
Mm,
I'm like, what are your deals? They definitely still want to have that conversation as well.
I'm pretty sure it'll happen at some point.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, I think episode 11 is going to be. There's going to be a few conversations that are going to bring out some drama, anyways. But I mean, that's why we
Yeah.
do D&D, right? This is not
Yes.
This is just not combat. If I wanted to just combat, then we would do. We would be in the middle of the Mad Mage right now. Um,
It's also a fun dungeon.
oh, it's
I've
yeah, and
seen
I think
a bunch
you've
of
played.
it.
Yeah, you've played through that one. I think. Yeah.
I've not played it,
No.
but I've seen it a bit,
Mm.
quite a bit.
Yeah, the Cobalt years.
Yeah.
Um, But so what else are you? So yeah, definitely those conversations
Yeah.
are definitely going to happen.
I'm very much looking forward to because I think that because he's of course way before we ever decided to go to Chulds, I was just looking up like Chultian deities, and I was like, let's take a super obscure one so that people will really not know, and like I was like, okay, let's go for
Uptow,
what's his name? Yes,
Uptow, yeah. Which
and you know that's technically was not an active deity anymore, but
mm, which is interesting because so I'm reading here off the Forgotten Realms wiki, which is so Uptow was the patron deity of Chult. He was
Mhm,
also known as the father of dinosaurs, the creator of Chult, the founder of Mesro, and the deceiver. He stayed distant from both mortals and other deities and seemed to be above the daily goings of the world and his followers. Which is this might be partly due to his origin as a primordial, and not in fact a fully know. It is not fully known if he was a deity in the traditional sense. I like the idea that he himself is just in it. it kind of reflects that the Vroon being a bit more confident, a bit more uppity, a bit more self-indulged. With Uptao seems to be a fairly selfish god as well.
Oh yes, I think
Um,
so.
and,
But yeah, basically, definitely want to dig a bit more into that. I mean, into Uptao in general, and but I think that that is a thing that's comes up more.
mm-hmm,
Um, and just like the relationship of Rune and other Loxodon to Uptao, and how that, like, I'm definitely looking forward to exploring that more.
mm. Well, it's definitely something we need to discuss a bit more because
Yes.
I haven't. I'm only now sort of looking into who Uptao is for because of the campaign, and so
Yeah.
I
Like I
think
said, I was not really planning on having. I was like, I was really going for an obscure god that was not going to be super relevant, and then
and now
like,
it's super relevant. Yeah.
we're going to Schultz. Yeah. All right.
um, yeah. So definitely, what it. I mean, I'm reading again. So this is a quote. I'm not going to tell you what the quote is about because that's actually spoilers for the campaign.
Oh,
But it says, "To be a paladin of Uptao, you must know more. You must complete the maze long before you die. Look ahead to the pattern that will be your life in the years and decades to come." I like the idea that the followers of Uptao might be there's some sort of divination involved, which is, or at least speculation, as okay, I am here at this moment, but what does it mean for my path going forward and my path looking back?
yeah.
Where am I within the maze? And yeah, so it's definitely going to be interesting. I think we're going to have a couple of conversations with regards to that, preparing to see. I mean, who
Yeah.
knows? We might move. We might go and visit um, the um, the Mother of Mists and see the Loxodon community there, which will be most likely complete pure improv from you and me.
Yeah. Yes.
um, but that's the fun parts. So we're coming up on towards the end here. So I would say, unless you have something more to maybe add with regards to what would you
Oh,
see? No. Okay. So let's. So for my three other players who are certainly watching this because that's their homework, you may now shut the video off and mark it as watched, and we will continue on with the spoiler section of this with whoever might view this at a later point, and I will definitely come back to reference myself on this. So, what is something that the other players do, and the other characters do not know about Vroom?
Um, I think the major thing there, and this is like long term, because it's like it's not an easy feat, but this is a campaign that that goes for a while and goes to quite a high level.
Mm-hmm.
But long term, he's working towards starting a revolution in Port Niozaro,
Okay.
and I think he wants to really like make a better place there for the Loxodon, and
Okay.
maybe get into a bit of he will probably get into a bit of conflict with some of the merchant princes there. Then
Oh, and you're going to have to convince some people back home because there's a reason
yes,
for this masquerade, this idea that Loxodon are barely above in beast intelligence. There's a reason for that. Um, and I'm starting to get an idea as to why. There might be, and that's something that I'll have to discuss with you.
all right.
Um, well, maybe leave it for spoilers for the. But
Yeah.
I like the idea that the Uptao has disappeared from Chult, most likely from the world. right? He's not so in the Mother of Mist and he's been forgotten and basically almost yeah he's considered like a betrayer. He betrayed the people of Chult
Oh yeah.
by leaving. But the Luxodon have another idea, which is no, he left, okay, but maybe it's because we have to find him. And so I like the idea, and this is something that will develop with the both of us, which is the reason why Loxodon, young Loxodon, are sent into Chult as guides is actually to look for signs of Uptao because he's hiding within the maze.
Yeah.
And a lot of either come back with clues, and so there might be somewhere in the council house of the leaders of the Loxodon this massive board, you know, with red strings all over the
Hmm.
place. So what happened to Uptao and why did he leave us?
Yeah. I also
Um,
like the idea of like the fact because I'm not sure how long it's been since Uptao has disappeared, but it's been like, you know, maybe
it's
200 years or something like that.
yeah, it's not that it's well, it's long. It's long
It's long
enough.
in human years,
Yeah, it's long in
but you
human
know,
generations. Yeah.
Loxodon can get up to like 450 years old, so it's like I was also going like, yeah, no, it makes sense
Oh,
that, you
okay.
know,
So, according to the wiki, it's somewhere around 1400 DR.
and we are
I think we're
wait, I have this somewhere.
I think we're
Uh,
1900 and let's see. Yeah, once we
1493.
we're in 1493. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's been roughly about a century.
Yeah. So,
So,
you know, for
it's
humans,
it's
that's a
about
long time.
yeah, it's about three to maybe yeah, about 3 generations
Yeah.
worth, especially in Chult where you don't live long.
But, you know, like mm, Rune is on he's already like 75 years old, I think.
Yeah, so his
70.
father would have
71, I guess, by
yeah,
now because
yeah. But yeah, but so s- um
yeah,
but
his
his
parents
father,
were
his
like
parents would have been known. Yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, so there's definitely that moment where no, we're going back into this is a challenge. Uptao is known as the
yeah,
deceiver. He's the master of the maze. And so this is not the humans have failed him by forgetting him and pushing him away. It's our job to find him. He's waiting for us to find him. I like that idea. I really like that idea. Um, so yeah, maybe so the idea that, but that's the point. So why are the Loxodon being passed off as dumb beasts to the humans? Might be because if they show themselves as more intelligent and with a purpose, they might be hindered.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
So
I mean they're just on a small island with a small
yeah,
population and
yeah. Maybe that anyways, but that's something that I mean that's something that Vroon would know, so
oh
that's
yeah,
definitely something that we would have to discuss in preparation if the subject ever comes up.
yeah.
Mm. Anything else?
No, I think that's the big one.
That's the big one. I mean the idea that I was thinking because I was talking to Yannick about and he was mentioning that maybe one of his goals later on would be to actually help Vroondomon become one of the merchant princes and stuff like that. And um, looking at the merchant princes and what they do, what kind of merchant prince would be? I mean, what would Vroon be responsible for? I just want to know because I want to know
Yeah.
which with against with which merchant prince you're going to go to war.
Like I think Rune would definitely be more of a traditionalist that comes up for the 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 interest of the that like chilled itself, as in
Cartography,
as opposed to like, you know, not so much less worried about the trade and about, but just probably more about sustainability and and like protecting the people of Chult, whatever kind of people they might be. Like
So you wouldn't be so a Vroon wouldn't be a mercantile because the idea is if you're a merchant prince,
Yeah,
which is you hold this monopoly over a certain you know
he would be the Green Party.
okay. So, but yeah, but what would be your services, for example? Because you have one for the guides, you have one for the the items, you have one for the canoes, you have another one for
I
perfumes
mean,
or
I
whatever.
can imagine that there would be some conflict with the guides
Mm.
part.
I mean, one
Uh,
one suggestion I would have would be to go for something that has never been done before, which is cartography.
okay, right. Yeah.
You go in and going, okay, yes, the ruins, they're mine. Okay, you can go in, find objects, whatever, but I they anything that is built is mine.
Right. Yeah. That's something I need to look into a bit more. I've at some points, like back when we were not going to do Joel Jets, then I definitely looked into like, well, what who are the merchant princes and what do they do? But that was just to get a bit of a vague idea, and then I could have a bit of a when people asked where I was from, I could give some yes some quick answers about that. That's a long time ago, and I didn't want to read back into the book because it was like that. That now it's going to be spoilers.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, we're coming up. Yeah, we just passed the 30-minute mark. Any concluding thoughts, things you want to share with regards to Vroondomon
Seeing it
and
all unfold.
um, I'm really
Looking forward.
happy. I'm really happy that you're enjoying the character.
Yeah.
Um, oh, and actually, no, we forgot to mention one thing that he's the group cook, which
Yes.
is this massive beast here is the one with and that all that started on just God, Heinrich, move out of the kitchen. I'm taking care of this.
Yes. Come on. You don't put any spices in your food. What is this? Mashed potatoes? What?
Okay, yeah, that was and yeah that handy pouch, which
Yeah.
has. It's funny. It's because that pouch has kind of defined your character in many
Hmm.
ways. So I'm
Yeah.
forget who decided that that was going to be the gift to you, but
Yeah. I don't know.
anyhow, um, thank you for this interview.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure as always to talk to you. Um, I don't exactly know. So we're filming this on the 1st of November. I'm probably going to slip this in right after the next episode so that we get rolling content.
Mhm. All right.
Um, but yeah, and after this, there's only one left, and that's Gail.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
You think that was the easiest one?
yeah, you'd think, right? I mean, she brought me tea, so.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm. Anyhow, um, thanks again. We are going to be playing soon enough, and hopefully we'll be playing and coming to the end of the year and in the next year a bit more often, a bit more frequently, anyways, and we can get finally to the tomb at the end of the tunnel.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna make quicker progress now with the new.
Yes, with the new rules. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well then, my friend, it was lovely talking to you. Talk to you
Yeah.
soon. And to you all of you, thanks for watching.